Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last part we began the game, we went through the Wrath of Heaven mission, and we went to seal a massive breach in the sky caused by something. We're not entirely sure what exactly happened, but we were definitely there, we were involved, and we have ended up with this mark on our hand that allows us to interact with this breach. And now we've returned to Haven, the village we discovered in Dragon Age Origins, and oh my goodness, that is a lot of people. Hello. How's it going, everyone? Can I go in any of these other rooms? I sure can. Anything to see in them? No. What about, like, round the back? Anything? Everyone's just stood outside like, what are they doing? Are they here to thank me? Like, I did just do them a solid. Oh! Very nice. Gimme, gimme. Free Marcher's helmet and a Dalish toy soldier. Is the Free Marcher's helmet any good? What have we got? Yes, that is better. Very nice. Let's have that then. Let's go the main way around. So yes, we're now on the threat remains. Howdy.
That's her. That's the Herald of Andraste. They said when she came out of the Fade, Andraste herself was watching over her.
Hush. We shouldn't disturb her.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm a big deal, me.
I thought Seekers knew everything.
It's complicated. We were all frightened after the explosion at the Conclave.
It isn't complicated. Andraste herself blessed her.
So people are thinking of me as some really, like, powerful figure, I guess. That Andraste herself blessed. I'm not so sure it was Andraste. I feel like the person that helped us is more likely to be the Divine, because we know she was there and we know we were in the room with her. But if they want to think it's Andraste, you know, who am I to tell them no?
Blessings upon you.
Probably works out in my favor anyway. Hello.
I believe Seeker Cassandra would like to speak with you.
Alrighty. Man, just look at this world. Okay, well that is still there. We did not succeed as much as I thought. Okay.
That's her. She stopped the breach from getting any bigger.
I heard she was supposed to close it entirely.
Hey, I did my best. What have we got here? Andraste's Mabari. You don't know, you know Andraste's old Mabari. He don't show up in the chant. And if you ask those holy sisters, well, they'll say Andraste can't have some big old smelly war dog. But all Ferelden knows it, right? Our sweet lady needed someone who would warm her feet at night. And there's Andraste's Mabari, by the holy prophet's side. In the fight against Tevinter, that dog would never hide. They say the Maker sent him special, always loyal, without pride, so he could be the sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Oh, that dog, he guards Andraste, without arrogance or fear, only asking of his mistress just a scratch behind the ears. But then old Mafrath gets to plotting, tries to lure that dog away, but even as they trap the prophet, her Mabari never strays. And there's Andraste's Mabari, by the holy prophet's side. In the fight against Tevinter, that dog would never hide. They say the Maker sent him special, always loyal without pride, so he could be the sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Oh, they thought the wounds had killed him, but then he limped out toward the fire. And Hesarin, he shed a tear, and that dog laid on the pyre. Aw, Sag. Yes, that Mabari's the companion of the Maker's holy bride. A popular, if historically unlikely, Ferelden tavern song. Okay, what's around here then?
Still a lot of rifts left all over. Little cracks in the sky.
She can seal those, though. The Herald of Andraste.
Hell yeah. I really like this armor.
You won't seal those rifts with the chant of light.
This armor looks dope. I'm pretty sure this was part of the Ultimate Edition, Game of the Year Edition, whatever it's called. Because it was just like a bunch of armor in a box on the floor when I got here, but yeah. I'll take it. The Singing Maiden. Have you ever heard the story of King Bedwyr? Bedwyr, like most kings, was a man of great pride who expected nothing but complete loyalty from his subjects. He believed the best way to achieve this was through fear. After all, those who feared him would never cross him or question his rule. Most importantly, those who feared him would always seek to please him. Bedwyr cultivated terror in his subordinates through the gleeful and unrestrained use of a contraption referred to as the Maiden. The Maiden was a hinged iron casket, as high and wide and deep as a man, with vicious spikes within, meant to pierce through the poor soul locked into it. Yeesh. Bedwyr's Maiden was a prized possession, and stood in a place of honour in his throne room, often with a screaming victim inside it. Political rivals, suspected assassins, treasonous ministers. The Maiden consumed them all. But as time passed, more people were given to the Maiden for increasingly trivial offences. The cook for oversalting the king's food, the page boy for dropping his sword. The Maiden cast a pall over the kingdom, and its people prayed for deliverance from their cruel king. Then one day, a strange woman rode into the city. She called herself Ember, and was an emissary from a far-off land. Her leaders had heard, she said, of Bedwyr's wisdom and authority, and she sought the king's counsel. The thought that he had earned the adulation of brother kings across the sea made Bedwyr swell with pride, and he granted Ember an audience. They dined and danced, and through it all, Ember flattered and fawned on the king. At the end of the night, Ember asked to see the Maiden, the infamous device that had given Bedwyr all his power. The king, giddy with praise, proudly presented Ember with the empty contraption. Ember looked at the Maiden, sighed with disappointment, and said, "That does not look terrifying at all. I should have imagined the spikes to be much sharper." Bedwyr grew red at her comment and replied, "The spikes are sharp enough. Look at the blood that still clings to them." "But it's so small," said Ember. "Are only children and women its victims?" Bedwyr grew redder still and replied, "Of course not. The Maiden has devoured many men." Ember shook her head and said to the king, "I do not believe it. Surely no warrior could fear this thing. A man like yourself, tall and muscled, would not fit within." The king laughed and saw a way to prove the merit of the Maiden to Ember. "I will show you how easily a man like myself could fit," he said, and with that, he stepped into the device. But Ember was waiting, and no sooner had Bedwyr squeezed himself into the iron casket than Ember slammed it shut on him. Ember took the Maiden, with the screaming Bedwyr inside, through the castle and down into the city, and the people, finally free from the king's tyranny, cheer and dance to the singing that echoed through the streets, until Bedwyr was dead and it finally stopped. A tale often told in the Singing Maiden Tavern. What a nice place. Can we go in here? No. Hello. Lots of people very carefully blocking my routes to any other areas, it seems. Wait, is this a door I can go in? No. Codex unlocked, I am the one. What? Tales. I feel the sun through the ashes in the sky. Where's the one who'll guide into night? What's begun is the war that will force this divide. What's to come is fire and the end of time. Oh.
Safely, Herald of Andraste.
What was it in? Letters and Notes, was it? No. Shit, where was it? This is very nice. Beautiful. Very nice. 10 out of 10. Love that.
Good luck sealing those rifts.
Appreciate it. Okay, can I get in over here? Man, that was really nice. Very pretty. Anything? Oh, right. Little sacks, their loot. Nug skin. Blue vitriol. Give me a little bit of vitriol. Patient observations day 3. Less thrashing. Some response to stimulus. Vitals seem solid. 2 attempts so far by locals to break into the Chantry to kill my patient. All this work to save her life, and will they just execute her? Will inform Lady Cassandra I expect her to wake before the morn.
Walk safely, Herald of On.
Herald of Arn. Yep, that's me. The Herald of Arn. Give me that elf root.
Good luck sealing those rings.
Give me that elf root. Hello, Thren.
Not taking orders right now. Got a problem with it? Bring it up with Cassandra.
I'm not here to give you orders, mate. 56 gold, blood, lotus, and dragon thorn. Very nice, very nice. Codex unlocked for both of those. I won't bother opening that because I don't read the plant lore because, like, it's plant lore, you know. 69 deeps, grouse feather charm. What be that? What be a grouse feather charm? Or is it just a valuable? Oh, it's just a valuable. Okay. Actually, what kind of inventory limit am I working with here? I have 20 out of 60 currently. Okay, so I'm already a third full. Okay.
Chancellor Roderick says that the Chantry wants nothing to do with us. That isn't Chancellor Roderick's decision, sister.
In we go. Nice place. Something just pinged, but I ain't seeing anything lit up. Is it upstairs, maybe? No? What the hell just pinged? Over there. A chant for the departed. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water. As the moth sees light and goes toward flame, she should see... tongue twister. She should see fire and go towards light. The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her sword. The Fade. The study of the Fade is as old as humankind. For so long as men have dreamed, we have walked its twisting paths, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at its heart. Indeed, the Black City. Always as close as our own thoughts, but impossibly separated from our world. The Tevinter Imperium once spent vast fortunes of gold, lyrium, and human slaves in an effort to map the terrain of the Fade, an ultimately futile endeavour. Although portions of it belong to powerful spirits, all of the Fade is in constant flux. The Imperium succeeded in finding the disparate and ever-shifting realms of a dozen demon lords, as well as cataloguing a few hundred types of spirits before they were forced to abandon the project. The relationship of dreamers to the Fade is complex. Even when entering the Fade through the use of lyrium, mortals are not able to control or affect it. The spirits who dwell there, however, can, and as the Chantry teaches us, the great flaw of the spirits is that they have neither imagination nor ambition. They create what they see through their sleeping visitors, building elaborate copies of our cities, people, and events, which, like the reflections in a mirror, ultimately lack context or life of their own. Even the most powerful demons merely plagiarize the worst thoughts and fears of mortals, and build their realms with no other ambition than to taste life. Okay, is that everything? Okay. Onwards. Oh, never mind.
Have you gone completely mad?
Banter.
He should be taken to Val Royo immediately, to be tried by whomever becomes divine.
I do not believe she is guilty.
The elf failed, Seeker. The breach is still in the sky. For all you know, she intended it this way.
Shut up, man.
I do not believe that.
That is not for you to decide. Your duty is to serve the Chantry.
My duty is to serve the principles on which the Chantry was founded, Chancellor, as is yours.
I like her. I really like her. She's great. Current favourite character of Inquisition in the little time we've spent so far, definitely Cassandra. Yoink. Founding of the Chantry. Cordillus Draken, king of the city-state of Orlais, was a man of uncommon ambition. In the year -15 Ancient, the young king began construction of a great temple dedicated to the Maker, and declared that by its completion he would not only have united the warring city-states of the south, he would have brought Andrastian belief to the world. In -3 Ancient, the temple was completed. There in its heart, Draken knelt before the eternal flame of Andraste, and was crowned ruler of the Empire of Orlais. His first act as emperor, to declare the Chantry as the established Andrastian religion of the empire. It took 3 years and several hundred votes before Orlessa of Montsimard was elected to lead the new Chantry. Upon her coronation as divine, she took the name Justinia, in honour of the disciple who recorded Andraste's songs. In that moment, the ancient era ended, and the divine age began. Personal locket, valuable, I guess. Chantry Hierarchy. The Divine is the titular head of the Chantry, although since the schism split the Imperial Chantry into its own faction, there are now in fact 2 Divines at any one time. Okay, we've definitely read this. I'm pretty sure that this is just a copy, right, of one we've already read in DA2, or maybe DAO. I'm pretty sure we've read this. Requires a rogue, okay. How dare they? How dare they require a rogue? Boop. Okay, so that key symbol means requires a rogue, got it. Fire a gate. Alright. That's everything down here by the looks of it. Okay. I keep forgetting I've got a jump button. The Maker. There was no word for heaven or for earth, for sea or sky. All that existed was silence. Then the voice of the Maker rang out, the first word, and his word became all that might be. Dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. And from it made his firstborn. And he said to them, in my image I forge you. And in my image... No, that's reading the same line twice. To you I give dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done. Then in the centre of heaven he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne and sang hymns of praise unending, but their songs were the songs of the cobblestones. They shone with the golden light reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth the banners that flew on their own. And the voice of the Maker shook the fade, saying, in my image I've wrought my firstborn. You've been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever-changing. And he knew he had wrought amiss. So the Maker turned from his firstborn and took from the fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirits, and spoke to it, saying, here I decree opposition in all things. For earth, sky. For winter, summer. For darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life. And no longer was it formless, ever-changing, but held fast, immutable, with words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky. At last did the Maker from the living world make men, immutable as the substance of the earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, to you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fade I crafted you, and to the fade you shall return, each night in dreams, that you may always remember me. And then the Maker sealed the gates of the Golden City, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. And over here, boop. The children of Andraste. There are many misconceptions regarding Andraste's bloodline, monsieur. This is due, I should think, to a general lack of knowledge regarding Andraste's mortal life. Understandable, considering the many cults that arose following her death. Everyone sought to claim Our Lady for their own culture, or claim some aspect of her existence was a lie. All of them complete fabrications. My order has done considerable research to ascertain the truth. We all know Andraste and the Betrayer raised 5 children. Is this the first I've heard of this? I feel like I've never heard of Andraste's children before. Huh. The eldest three were sons, Isarath, Evrion, and Verold. The rule of what was once southern Tevinter was split among them. Isarath was given the west, what is today Orlais. Evrion was given the east, what is today the Free Marches. Verold was given the central Planacen, what is today Navarra. What became of these men and their legacies is stuff of legend, and the majority of claimants to Andraste's bloodline link back to one of them. None of the three sons, however, were born of Andraste. They were born of the betrayer's concubine, Gilvain. Gillivan? People choose to overlook the fact that Andraste came from the Alamari tribesmen, and that they were barbarians, not the Ferelden's we know today. They were savage warriors who took concubines in addition to their wives, and because Andraste was thought to be too weak to bear children, the betrayer took Gillivan to provide him heirs, which she did. After her death, the sons were raised as Andraste's own. Later in life, Andraste proved predictions wrong and had two daughters by the betrayer, Ebris and Vivial. They were kept out of the public eye and not permitted to marry, though both had consorts. Ebris had but one child, Ali Vimar, who perished on a voyage to Denerim less than a month after her mother fell to the plague, and without children of her own. The younger daughter, Vivial, was more controversial, a strong-headed woman who defied her family by falling in love with a mage of Tevinter, Regulan. Vivial and Regulan went into self-imposed exile as the Exalted March began, and into hiding following Andraste's betrayal and murder. What became of Vivial and her descendants is largely unknown for one primary reason. She had only daughters. Each of those daughters only had daughters. They married into other families and took other names, and in the chaos of the Second Blight, all traces of survivors were lost. Andraste's true bloodline, if it exists, lies solely in the descendants of Vivial, and the suspicion of my order is that it produces only daughters. Thus, the claims of your young man, monsieur, are highly suspect. Huh, that is very interesting. So it is entirely possible that Andraste's bloodline lives on today. Very cool. Turn in research. Oh, hello, I didn't even know you were here. Enemies drop unique collectibles, bring them to a researcher to learn more about your foes and earn combat bonuses against them. Oh, don't mind if I do. That's a cool system.
Seeker Pentagast was looking for you.
That is a very cool system.
That will help.
Shadow essences removed 1. Okay.
Please tell me if you find something.
No creature. Okay. Does it just automatically give me a damage boost, or do you have to reach some kind of, like... Do you have to turn in 5 to get a damage boost, or I don't know how that works, but I'll take it, however it works. Okay, after all that, it is time to chat with Cassandra and Mr. Dickhead.
Chain her. I want her prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
No.
Disregard that and leave us.
Bitch. Sunglasses
You walk
on.
a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
I did what I could. I'm still a suspect. You want my help again? I genuinely did what I could.
I did everything I could to close the breach. It almost killed me.
Yet you live. A convenient result insofar as you're concerned.
Yeah, I quite
Have
enjoy
a
being
care,
alive.
Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect,
You, and many others.
but not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to her for help.
So her survival, that thing on her hand, all a coincidence.
Providence. The Maker sent her to us in our darkest hour.
Huh. Ooh, this is interesting. So they believe I'm like a chosen one, essentially. I don't know if I want to say no to that. I feel like my life will be easier if people think I'm a chosen one, right? Like, a lot of times people would say no to Hawk or to the hero Ferelden. If people, well, I mean, people who don't believe in Andraste wouldn't, but if people believe I'm a chosen one of Andraste, they're going to pretty much do whatever I tell them, I feel. I feel like I'm just going to go with, are you sure? I don't want to deny it. I don't want to, that sounds dicky. What more do you want? I mean, like, obviously, your help. Are you serious? No, I don't want to be, like, threatening And you believe I'm innocent. I would say that if it wasn't for the, like, incredulous looking thing. Like, it sounds like it's going to go, you believe I'm innocent? Like, what the fuck? You think that? So I'm just going to go with, are you sure?
You really think your maker would send someone like me?
The Maker does as he wills. It is not for me to say.
Even if that means a Dalish elf is his chosen?
Humans are not the only people with an interest in the fate of the world.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor.
This is going to be a book that says it is for her to decide.
Granting us the authority to act.
Nice.
As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn.
Very cool.
We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order with or without your approval.
Get fucking told, mate. Off you trot. Oh my god, Cassandra's awesome.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
The Inquisition of old?
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way.
True.
We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
Okay, what about the... Wait, is that... Hang on, I don't know if that's a move the conversation on option, or if that's... Let's go with more of these. You want a holy war.
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
Okay, it's disappeared now. And if I refuse?
What if I refuse?
You can go if you wish.
You should know that while some believe you chosen, many still think you guilty. The Inquisition can only protect you if you are with us.
We can also help you.
It will not be easy if you stay. But you cannot pretend this has not changed you.
Sure, okay, let's say this again then.
What is the Inquisition of old?
Skip. And then we can
We need those who can
say,
do
what about the
must be
Chantry?
done, united under a single banner once more.
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
Alright. I want to help.
If you're truly trying to restore order...
That is the plan.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
Awesome. This is such good setup for the game, man. This is great. I am fully in. Keep loading, loading, loading. Yeah! Hello? New people? Sending messages out, is that? Our boys here, very nice. got some fancy duds on now. Hell yeah. Good fucking intro. There we go. I guess that's prologue over kind of moment. Very cool. Very cool. Haven's best and brightest. Report to a bunch of people, I think that said. Influence. Okay, we've got 40 influence out of 1,000. Did I just see we got another level? No. I thought we did. I guess we did not. Right. Cool. Let's pop a save. Okay, there is a bunch to explore. So the main quest is to go back to the Chantry. So let's do everything else
You think the mages
first.
will be able to seal the breach? I heard some speak of using the Templars instead.
How the fuck could Templars seal a breach?
I suppose that.
How the fuck can anyone seal a breach other than me? Fulfill Inquisition requisitions with the Quartermaster.
If you're here to clean, Hess can get you a bucket and a broom. Anyone calls you knife here, come to me. Oh, you're her. Thren. Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
Alright. What's your job?
What do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands. Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
How did you end up here?
How does someone end up as Quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under 10 Logain MacTeer.
Oh?
Best commanding officer this world has ever
I wonder how he's doing these days.
After they all turned on him at Denerim, though.
We haven't seen
There
him
wasn't
since
much
Awakening,
use for
right?
who held that position.
Briefly.
Queen Honora offered my services to the Inquisition. It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
Logain is a Grey Warden now. Ha! Cool. Okay, well this is a very unique dialogue option that you can only get if Logain did in fact survive the Landsmeet.
I understand Logain joined the Grey Wardens after the Blight ended.
Yes. A mercy, people called it. Serving the Order they say he betrayed. He could have led Ferelden to greatness. Instead, he lives in exile, fighting Darkspawn until the day he dies.
Codex Unlocked. A Study of the Fifth Blight, Volume 1. Crafting mats. We got the Blood Lotus. Cool, cool. History. Study of the Fifth Blight, Volume 1. I think we've read this in DA2, right? Actually, maybe not. You know what? I think this is new. While some of my contemporaries dispute whether the Fifth Blight was a true blight or merely a large Darkspawn resurgence, historians agree that it began in the swamps of the Korcari Wilds on the southeastern border of Ferelden in the year 930 Dragon. King Caelin Therin was swift in responding to the threat, gathering the royal army, every Grey Warden in his country, and sending a call for aid to the Ferelden nobility. The assembled armies laid a trap in the ruins of Ostagar, hoping to crush the force before it reached civilization, but they failed. Darkspawn overran the defenders of Ostagar and decimated the king and his army. They continued their advance into Ferelden unopposed. Only 2 Grey Wardens managed to escape the slaughter, and somehow they came into possession of ancient treaties which compelled the races of men to join arms against the massing horde. The surviving Wardens made their way to Kinloch Hold, home of the Ferelden Circle, and conscripted the mages. In desperation to find more allies, the Wardens journeyed into the Brazilian forest seeking the Dalish. The Elves too joined the growing army. Into the deep roads, the surviving Wardens went, searching for Paragon Branca in hopes she could settle the unrest in Orzammar and unite the dwarves in the battle against the Archdemon. Branca could not be located. Well, that's not true. We did locate her and killed her. But another Paragon was found, the legendary Caradin, who forged a crown that ended all question of succession. Balin Aeducan was crowned King of Orzammar, and the dwarven armies marched for the surface. Despite their successes, though, greater challenges were yet to come. Cool, cool. Wait, there's more history. We've read that one. The First Inquisition. This is new. The birth of the Chantry took place more than 9 ages ago. The mists of time have obscured once well-known facts. It is commonly believed the Chantry alone created the Templars from the Circle of Magi. Few recall there was ever an Inquisition. Those who do believe it predated the Chantry, hunting cultists and mages in a reign of terror, ending only upon its transformation into the Templar Order. This is not quite the truth. One must keep in mind the state of Thedas prior to the Chantry's creation, a world where the only source of order, the Tevinter Imperium, had fallen apart. People blamed magic for the death of Andraste, the blight, the terror they saw every day, and not without reason. Abominations and demons rampaged the countryside. No one was safe. Disparate groups of men and women initially formed the Seekers of Truth, determined to re-establish order because no one else would do what was necessary. The truth they sought, the question they tried to answer, was how to restore sanity in a world gone mad. Was theirs a reign of terror? Perhaps. Evidence suggests they were as vigilant in their protection of mages as they were of regular people. When they intervened, they convened an ad hoc trial to determine the guilty party. This even application of justice led to their poor reputation. The Seekers came down against every group at one time or another, their Inquisition gaining notoriety for being on no one's side but their own. They considered themselves good people, however, followers of the Maker's true commandments. This was never more evident than when they lay down their banner in support of the fledgling Chantry. They believed with all their heart that the Templar Order was the answer a desperate Thedas needed in a terrible time. Ultimately, the Inquisition was composed of independent idealists, not Chantry zealots. That is the truth. Cool. Anything further? Nope. And we've got a couple more tutorials. Researcher. Enemies drop unique collectibles. Bring them to research to learn more about your foes and gain combat bonuses. Cool. Okay. Do we have anything? Inspect requisitions. No schematics available. Oh.
If you find anything we need, let me know.
Is there anything I can talk to you about? Still? Yes. Okay, we did both of those. Tell me about requisitions.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site, maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
Okay, how do I fill special orders?
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Cool.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
Locate... Oh, iron 5 out of 5. We need a logging stand. Okay. So now we have this. Craft item 5 iron, craft item 1 logging stand. Reward 1 power. Yeah, that's in this, right? In the top left. Power 1.
Find anything we need, let me know.
Alright, cool. So... Oh, that's still pinging that. That pings from quite far away, huh? Now we can go up here. We couldn't go up here before. Lots to explore. So much to do, so much to see. But there's nothing... Oh, never mind, there is. The Randy Dowager Quarterly. A well-worn quarterly missive of suspect virtue. The Randy Dowager welcomes the cool of autumn with the fall of another. The collected dreams of desire being the confessions of an apprentice and training more furrowing than harrowing. Forbidden dalliances at their most spirited. The Randy Dowager. Exhibitions for the noble of thought, but spry of step. The lady herself says, enchanting. One supports the circles, if only because the closed doors offer the imagination more. 3 scarves fluttered in shock out of 5. What are you on about, mate? Hello, Solus. Ah, nice.
The chosen of Andraste. A blessed hero sent to save us all.
I'd like to be.
I didn't ask for this, but someone has to find a way to seal the breach.
Spoken nobly indeed. You think I'm mocking you? This age has made people cynical. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations.
Oh yeah?
I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
You study ancient ruins?
What do you mean, ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
How can you sleep there?
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins. Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
Oh, well, that's good. That's impressive.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as throwing fire or lightning. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything. I will stay there. At least until the breach has been closed.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate mage surrounded by Chantry forces, and unlike you, I do not have a divine mark protecting me. Cassandra has been accommodating, but you understand my caution.
Oh, you can go straight into you can go straight into a flirty thing. Okay. I don't even know what my options are in this game yet, so we'll leave that for now. I mean, you can probably flirt with everyone. I don't know. He seems cool. Let's just go with... I don't know. I do kind of like him. No, let's go Cassandra will protect you. Well... It doesn't... The Dragon Age games don't tend to lock you into anything. I'm kind of curious what he... I don't know. He's intriguing. I do like him. Let's try it. Let's see what he says.
You came here to help, Solus. I won't let them use that against you.
How would you stop them?
However I had to.
Thank you.
Okay, that wasn't actually that
Now
flirty.
let us
That was
hope
just, like,
either the
kind.
mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach.
Okay, he's cool. I like him. There was one thing, though.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
Wait, this is different, isn't it? Because last time there was like, there were 3 things to say, I'm pretty sure, and then I chose like the investigate option, and then it completely changed the rest of the conversation. This is different, though, right?
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
Okay, I agree.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Is there anything more? Oh, there is. Tell me about elves.
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions on elven culture.
I thought you would be more interested in sharing your opinions of elven culture. You are Dalish, are you not?
Proudly. He
Yes,
disapproves.
The Dalish are the best hope for preserving the culture of our people.
Our people. You use that phrase so casually. It should mean more. But the Dalish have forgotten that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, but you know the truth, right?
While they pass on stories, mangling details, I walk the Fade. I have seen things they have not.
So, teach other elves?
Fine, you think we're terrible. What about the alienages full of elves who aren't Dalish?
Why? What would it benefit some poor man in a Ferelden alienage to learn that his ancestors strode the land like gods? It would only make him bitter, or inspire him to take a foolish risk and get himself killed.
You've decided his reaction for him.
Perhaps I have. If you have questions and believe the answers will help, ask.
I think we just wiped out any approval that we'd gained with him. He's very upset. Tell me about ancient elves.
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Hallam Sharal. But Hallam Sharal was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Arlathan.
Elvanan was the empire, and Arlathan its greatest city. Place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
What else?
You've studied ancient elves. What else do you know of Arlathan?
We hear stories of them living in trees, and imagine wooden ramps or Dalish Erebels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches, palaces floating among the clouds. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing. That is what was lost.
Tell me about the Dalish.
Are all Dalish elves like my clan?
No. Your clan was unique in having enough interest in human affairs to send you to spy upon the Divine's meeting. As your clans have been separate for so long, they have all changed, adapting to the lands in which they live. Some are no more than bandits, others trade freely with humans, and some have disappeared entirely to the forests.
Tell me about the city elves.
What can you tell me about elves?
We're gaining that approval back slightly, bit by bit.
Among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless.
I'm surprised he's so mad about the Dalish, though.
Better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
Tell me about elven magic.
Is the magic they teach in the Circle different from the magic I learned with my people?
No and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water, but it can be used in different ways. Dalish magic is more practical, not needing Chantry approval, although they still frown on blood magic. Superstition. Much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
Special? Huh. Was immortality due to magic?
The legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No. It was simply part of being elven. The subtle beauty of their magic was the effect, not the cause of their nature. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries, harmonizing with new magic in an unending symphony. It must have been beautiful.
About blood magic.
You said that the censure against blood magic was a superstition.
I did. It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly, even Tevinter disapproves of it. But as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
Blood magic seems interesting.
I'd be interested in learning more about blood magic.
I would teach you if I knew it. Unfortunately, using blood magic seems to make it more difficult to enter the Fade. You understand why I never bothered to learn it. A shame, as it is extremely powerful.
That's an interesting
Provided
tidbit.
It remains a tool, not a crutch, nor a passion.
We'll talk later.
He's got a lot. He knows a lot. Anything more?
Hello.
Oh yeah, that was just one section, wasn't it?
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal, from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
Sure. Tell me about the breach.
I'd like to know more about the breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created deliberately.
Tell me about the veil.
I'd like to know more about
There's
the
so
veil.
much dialogue here. This is crazy.
Call it a barrier between this world and the Fade, but according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
I mean, that does kind of sound dangerous, but I feel like he's going to be mad if I say that, so I'm going to go, that sounds marvelous.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous, but yes.
Oh, maybe he'd have agreed.
A world where imagination defines reality, where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful, and the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
Tell me about the demons.
I'd like to know more about demons.
Your Dalish say the demons hate the natural world and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice.
Oh?
Spirits wish to join the living, and a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Can we change that?
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them? If not in peace, at least without such active confrontation.
Not in the world we know today. The veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Okay, is that it?
Hello.
Tell me about yourself. No, we haven't even done this. Oh my goodness, there's just so much.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
Why? I respect you.
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I am sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
Why study the Fade?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Sounds dangerous.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
Clearly you woke up.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is that why you're here?
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroy the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
Hope that works.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Man, are we going to push this? I don't know. He is very intriguing. I'm kind of curious to push it. You like my side benefits?
Indomitable focus.
Presumably. I have yet to see it dominated. I imagine that the sight would be fascinating.
Where have you studied?
You said you traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Which battlefields?
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logan's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
Tell me what happened.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Caelan fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real?
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Do you work with anyone?
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped.
Any spirits of justice?
Wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
Wisdom and purpose?
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
Those are demon names.
You're saying that you became friends with Pride and Desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it happen. Justice was cool, and then eventually justice became vengeance. And vengeance, less cool.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
I enjoy getting to know you.
You have an interesting way of looking at the world, Solus.
I try. And that isn't quite an answer.
I look forward to helping you make new friends.
That should be... well...
That isn't quite an answer.
That should be, well.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Any more?
What can I do for you?
Okay, no, we're actually done. Holy fuck, that was like a half hour of conversations or something. That was crazy. He is incredibly interesting. I normally always romance women, but I don't know. He just seems very compelling. Hello? Apothecary. Find recipes through exploration or by visiting merchants. Visit an apothecary with herbs you gather in the wilderness to upgrade potions. Use the equip station to assign different potions to each of your party members and to replenish the potions you are carrying. Use the upgrade station to unlock permanent upgrades to your potions. Okay, that's a whole fucking lot. Right. Hi.
Segrit told me that he can't let the herbs go for anything less than 8.
Fine. We'll gather our own. Tell Segrit he better hope he doesn't need a salve anytime soon. Look who's back from the dead. Again.
We've met?
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you can pay me back by fixing the world.
You got it.
Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
You're a bit cranky.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are a few around who can help.
Well, it's good that you are willing to do so, even if it's not generally your thing.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
How are your people holding up?
Oh, wait, that's just what I asked.
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
Okay, how do I order potions?
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Alright.
You're back. And in one piece.
And need any help?
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajan's notes.
Oh!
Old bastard was working on something.
I'll be finding them.
He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
Cool. Well, I'll do that then.
Farewell.
Has that become like a quest at all? The threat remains, that's the main thing. Haven's best and brightest. Good help is not so hard to find. Explore and meet some of the crafting masters. We've spoken with the quartermaster and the apothecary. Mixing potions, visit a potion loadout station. Okay. Potion can also be equipped or replenished. Passing notes. The apothecary mentioned his master Tygan was working on something special. Find the notes. Cool. That did become a thing. And then there's the logging stand one as well. Okay. So equip potions. Potion assignment and replenishment. You can equip or replenish potions for each party member. Healing potions at the top of the radial menu are replenished for free automatically, but all others require herbs. Okay. So what can I, like, put in here? Potion, use left stick, press A to confirm. The type and number of herbs needed to replenish appear on the left. Restores 26 health every 2 seconds for 60 seconds. Okay. So you're getting 30 restores of 26 health. Cool. So I drop that in there. You must have enough herbs. Use left stick to select and X to replenish individual or Y to restore entire stack. So I can restore all 5 by using 5 of the elf fruit that I have. Okay, cool. Switch characters. Varric, Solus, Cassandra. Okay, that's our full party at the moment. Well, we only have a couple left. I won't give anyone else one then.
There you go.
Right, upgrade potions. Potion upgrading. You can upgrade potions you've already unlocked. To upgrade one, select a category, select the potion, select the upgrade. Potion upgrades require a significant amount of herbs. In return, they give permanent and significant bonuses to your potions. Okay. Potions. The healing potion. Fuck, we need 29 elf root, but it increases the healing amount by 50. Okay, so we actually should save up. We should really save up elf root for that. And that increases it by a further 67. Okay. But you need a bunch of shit I've never heard of. Alright. The Regeneration Potion. Oh man, there's a lot of levels of this. Increases duration by 8 seconds. Then another 10. Then healing amount by 3 per second. Then by 4 per second. Then doubles the healing amount if you're below 25% health. And then heals nearby allies on top of all that. Okay. My goodness. That is a lot of levels of heals. Tonics enhance resistance or augment combat. We don't have any. And grenades throws vials that shatter and affect an area. We also don't have any. Okay. Interesting. Interesting stuff. Got something to read. Patient observations day 2. Pulse normal, breathing normal, still unresponsive. Careful drop feed of prep. Elf root extract to hasten her recovery. A lot of thrashing. Mutters about too many eyes. Something about the grey. Encouraging. The grey? The grey wardens? That's the only thing I can think of that I know of as grey, right? Okay. Cool, cool. We already went in there, right? Yes, we did. Okay. And did we already go in here? I guess we did that as well. Anything else around, or is that... Yoink. Okay, well, nice to get to know you, Solus. See you around. I'm sure we can also chat to Varric and Cassandra.
Herald of Andraste, telling what she did.
It's far too soon to consider anything like that.
I was talking with a friend who said there used to be a verse about an elf in the Chant of Light.
No, that's not true.
A learned child is
I'm
a
sorry,
blessing upon
but that
his
doesn't mean
parents
the Maker
and
loves you
onto
any
the
less.
Maker.
We can go in here now. Okay. Songs collected. 3 out of 21. Codex unlocked enchanters. Someone about to sing that? Okay, I'm not going to listen to the whole thing. It's quite long, but very nice. What new tutorials did we get? Is that the mixing one? Yeah. And then... Oh, wait, there was another? Oh, this one. Apothecary. Magic. What did we have to read here? Spirits and demons. When first I summoned her, she was a rose, unwithering, unchanging, and unthorned. A spirit of the purest love one knows, who never hated, coveted, or scorned. A second time I drew her across the veil and shared a walk, a dance, a stolen kiss. With such a perfect beauty, pure and pale, no woman could compare, no man resist. Then in my weakness I essayed a third, though Magister their warnings did impart. She broke my binding with a single word, and said this smiling as she clutched my heart. Though love I was, your passion's changing fire has forged this spirit into cruel desire. Yeesh. Hello, Flisser.
Can I get you anything?
What can I find in Haven?
What can you tell me about this area?
Adana's Haven's apothecary. He's been making potions and tending to the wounded as best he can. Harris is the Inquisition smith. Whatever he can make you, Thren the quartermaster can probably find. And for anything fancier, you can try buying from Cedric. His prices aren't too high. Yet?
Yet.
Oh, there's also Minave. She studies beasts and things, as I understand.
Cheers.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Lovely singing. Did it say there were like 20 plus songs? Very nice. A tale of the Frostbacks. Even mountains had a heart once. When the world was young, Korth the Mountain Father kept his throne at the peak of Belanas, the mountain at the center of the world, from which he could see all the corners of earth and sky. And he saw strong men become weak, brave men grow cowardly, and wise men turn foolish for love. Korth devised a plan that he might never be betrayed by his own heart, by taking it out and hiding it where no soul would ever dare search. He sealed it inside a golden cask, buried it in the earth, and raised around it the fiercest mountains the world had ever seen, the Frostbacks, to guard it. But without his heart, the Mountain Father grew cruel. His chest was filled with bitter mountain winds that shrieked and howled like lost souls. Food lost its flavour, music had no sweetness, and he lost all joy in deeds of valour. He sent avalanches and earthquakes to torment the tribes of men. Gods and men rose against him, calling him a tyrant, but with no heart, Korth could not be slain. Soon there were no heroes left, either among men or gods, who would dare challenge Korth. The Lady of the Skies sent the best of her children, the swiftest, the cleverest, the strongest flyers, to scour the mountains for the missing heart, and for a year and a day they searched, but Sparrow and Raven, Vulture and Eagle, Swift and Albatross returned to her without nothing. Then, the Ptarmigan spoke up and offered to find the God Chief's heart. The other birds laughed, for the Ptarmigan is a tiny bird, too humble to soar, which spends half its time hopping along the ground. The lady would not give the little creature her blessing, for the mountains were too fierce even for eagles, but the Ptarmigan set out anyway. Ptarmigan? The little bird travelled deep into the frostbags. When she could not fly, she crawled. She hugged the ground and weathered the worst mountain winds, and so made her lonely way to the valley, where the heart beat. With all the gods' terrible deeds, the heart was far too heavy for the tiny bird to carry, so she rolled it, little by little, out of the valley and down a cliff. And when the golden cask struck the earth, it shattered. The heart was full almost to bursting, and the pain of it roused the mountain god to come see what had happened. When Korth neared his heart, it leapt back into his chest, and he was whole again. Then Hakon Winter's Breath bound Korth's chest with 3 bands of iron and 3 bands of ice, so it could never again escape, and all the remaining gods named the Ptarmigan honoured above even the loftiest eagles. Huh. Now, that was a cool story, right up until that last bit. And then it says, then Hakon Winter's Breath. I'm pretty sure one of the DLCs that I installed is called Jaws of Hakon. So, that could be an interesting link. What was it? It was Jaws of Hakon, I can't remember. I only just remembered that because the Hakon reminded me. Serpent Stone. Hello. Thank you. Hey, Varric. How's it going, mate?